What's up, fight fans? My name is Angelo. Welcome back to Jello Men MMA. If you're a fan of UFC, you watch UFC every single month, this channel is for you. On this channel, I break down anything and everything related to UFC. On this video, I'm going to talk about the main event of UFC 274 between Justin Gaethje and Charles Oliveira, but also I'm going to talk a little bit about Rose Namajunas versus Carla Esparza. And so on this channel, I basically just I like talking about fights, I like breaking down fights, but I like talking about the experience of going to a fight, and I also like talking about the mentality of these fighters, because the mental game is something I'm very intrigued by. And in this video, I'm going to talk about that, and I'm going to it's mainly be about Justin Gaethje and Charles Oliveira. But before we get into the video, hit like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss out on any of my content. So, me and my girlfriend were at the fight this past Saturday, and we were there to support Justin Gaethje because Justin Gaethje is in Arizona. He's from Arizona. He grew up an hour away from where we grew up, and so we wanted to see him get the W. Overall, we're just diehard fight fans. As soon as we found out that the fight was going to be in Phoenix, we're like, let's go. But we bought tickets that same day, it went on sale, and yeah, we're at the fights, man. The fights are, like I said, they were awesome, man. And if you've never been to a UFC fight, you have to go. But you know, like the Michael Chandler fight was awesome, and then after that, it went to Rose Namajunas versus Carla Esparza. So I kind of wanted to talk about that a little bit before I get into the main event. So going into the fight, Carla Esparza beat Rose when they first fought. She choked her out. So she obviously is the better grappler, better wrestler. And Rose, of course, she's the better striker. And normally when you get a grappler versus striker, the striker tends to be more patient. They try not to make a mistake, because as soon as they make a mistake, they get taken down. If they overcommit on the punch, the wrestlers can go in and take them down. So when the fight was going on, it was boring to a lot of people, but the way I see it is, man, like, Rose is a champion. Carla was trying to become the champion. So in my opinion, if Carla wanted it bad enough, she was gonna initiate the striking exchanges, and try to come get the belt from Rose. Because in my opinion, Rose is a champion. I think she fought a smart game plan. She could have got a little more aggressive here and there, but man, I try not to boo. I don't boo fighters like when they fight, because I just understand there's so much that goes into a fight. Like, I respect these fighters so much, and I don't really. I mean, I just don't like I don't like booing. Like, if it's a fighter I don't like, or that I'm not a fan of, I just boo just because. Like let's say Charles Oliveira, like, I'll boo for him because I'm rooting for Justin Gaethje, but at the end of the day, I'm still fans of all these fighters. But you know, the crowd was kind of getting. I mean, it was boring. You want to see action, and right before that was Michael Chandler versus Tony Ferguson, and of course, any fight after that fight is going to be boring, no matter what it is. And the Rose fight wasn't as exciting as people wanted to see, but the fight was technical. I mean, there's people behind me and my girlfriend. They're just so bored out. They're like, so boring. Like, what's going? Like, there's boo. You guys suck. Rose sucks. And I told my girlfriend, I was like, look, like, because we're both paying attention, and I was like, look, Rose is trying to get Carla to punch her first, so Rose can step back, counter, and try to catch Carla, because Rose knows that if she makes a mistake, she's gonna get taken down, and she's not the best grappler, and Carla is the better grappler. So she was trying to bait her in so she can counter and punch her and kind of put her out, and that was basically what was going on the whole fight. And I kind of felt like there was a couple of times in that situation when Rose could have been more aggressive, in my opinion, but I don't think that Carla won. Like, she won the fight. I mean, it was cool to see her win. I mean, when I see fighters win that I don't really go for, like, I'm still excited for them, because, at the end of the day, they're humans, they're UFC fighters. There's just something about UFC fighters who put everything on the line every time they fight. So I wasn't happy about the decision, But at the same time, excited for Carla because she became a champion, and it's cool to see. But yeah, I thought Rose won that fight. I thought she was doing better, like in my opinion. I just felt like she could have did a little bit more. She landed a couple punches, and I just felt like Carla should have came into the fight knowing that she should have been like, you know what, Rose is the champion, and I'm gonna do anything I can to get this belt. If I have to take the risk to take her down, I'm gonna take that risk. I'm gonna go on and take her down. But she didn't really do that, so that's what caused like a boring fight between these guys. But overall, I'm still a Rose fan. She's still one of the best fighters in my opinion. She's still great, and hats off to Carla. She got the W, but hats off to her. And then we go to the main event: Justin Gaethje versus Charles Oliveira. Alright, so this is why I love the fight game, is the mentality of these fighters. So before the fight, I was watching Justin Gaethje. I was watching all his interviews, and I was like, alright, bro, Justin Gaethje is so confident right now. Every time he was talking, he was like, he knew he was gonna win, because like at the end of the day, it was his destiny to win. He gets the opportunity to win the UFC champion in his home state, in front of his family, out of the people who watched him grow up. Like, that is something that's like, I cannot explain it, and I don't even know if Justin Gaethje can explain it. It's just something like he worked his whole life to get to this point, and it's just right there. All he has to do is win, and it's one of those things where it's like once in a lifetime, because he might not get this shot again. And so that's the way I see this fight game from like the mental aspect, and I kind of see it. Yes, it's the strategy, the technique of these fighters is fun to watch. I like that. I like when fighters are going at it, punching each other. But the one thing I like the most is the mentality and just the pressure that goes into these fights. And I didn't think Justin Gaethje, he wasn't bothered by the pressure. People were saying he quit, but like, bro, he didn't quit, man. Like, he tapped out, but Charles Oliveira is a beast, and like people were saying that, oh, Justin Gaethje, like he didn't show up because the moment was too big for him. Like, no, like it wasn't too big for him. It was just Charles Oliveira was a better fighter that night. And the one thing I said before the fight was that the one thing I was worried about was that Justin Gaethje is not the best at jiu-jitsu defense, and that showed in the fight when he got dropped. Charles took his back, and that was pretty much the end of the fight. But man, like I said, this kind of fight kind of goes back to Justin Gaethje's destiny. Like, he worked his whole life to get to this opportunity, and the chance to do it at home. Like, the stakes were high, and like when Justin Gaethje was coming out to the fight, as soon as his music went off, like he said in his interview, he said that he's gonna come out to a mariachi band, and when he did, that was kind of his way, because his mom would always tell him, you gotta come out to this song, and he finally played that song. And like I knew about that when he said that, and when that song came out, I was like, oh, let's go. Like, I was just like, I knew what that moment meant, and like I was rooting for Justin Gaethje. And when he was walking out to the crowd, I saw his parents, and I was like, bro, this is the moment. This is the moment that Justin Gaethje has been working for his entire life. It's right now, do or die. To win it in your home state in front of your family, this gives me chills just thinking about it. And like, I was so emotionally invested into the fight because of that. And when he was coming out, I was like getting goosebumps. I was like, man, let's go. This is his moment. He's gonna get it done. It's his moment. He will get it done. And then Charles Oliveira comes out, and Charles Oliveira is a bad motherfucker. He was coming out confident as hell too. And the fight started. Justin Gaethje landed too. Like, he was swinging for power, and he dropped Oliveira twice. And the thing about Oliveira was like, when he got dropped the first time, but the second time I think he got hit, but I think he tried to play it off, and he fell back so he can kind of recover, and that gave him an opportunity, because Justin Gaethje is not going to go into his guard, because Charles Oliveira is lethal on the ground. So they got back up, and then the thing is, man, Charles Oliveira gets hit and dropped every single fight, but man, he's resilient. He's mentally tough, and he got back up and he just kept pressuring Gaethje, and he dropped Justin Gaethje. And Charles Oliveira is not the most powerful puncher, but his technique and his timing is just on point, and that's how he gets these knockdowns. And he dropped Gaethje. I never seen him get dropped like that, and like ever. And as soon as he got dropped, boom, took his back, and that was it. And bro, when Justin Gaethje like got submitted, like I felt that, man, I was so devastated. Like I was happy for Charles Oliveira, but at the same time, it's like I understand. Like I knew. Like as soon as Justin Gaethje like lost, I was like, bro, man, that sucks. Like, man, like that's what I like about this game is the stakes are so high and it's do or die. Justin Gaethje might not ever get this opportunity again. Like it was right there. It's like, all right, here's your time to become a world champion. It's right there. Everything you work for is right there. And then you got Charles Oliveira. He's like, oh, he's like, no, you think you're gonna take this? You're not gonna take that from me. I'm gonna take your moment from you. I'm gonna take that shit from you. And that, bro, that's what I love about this game is it's just it's such a high stakes game, and I love it. And when Justin Gaethje lost, I saw it in his face, man. Like I was hurt for him. Like you hate to see a fighter lose. Like I root for all these guys, man. Like I hate when fighters lose, and I felt that more with Justin Gaethje because it's just like, man, I understand, bro. Work your ass off to get to do it at home in front of your people, and just to lose, it's heartbreaking, and it sucks to see. I was devastated, and to see the look on his parents' face when he was going back up. I mean, I'm sure they're cool right now, but like it's sad to see it. But this is the game. This is the fight. It's fighting. This is the fight business, and fight business has no feelings. It's just whoever is the better fight at the night, and that's why I love these. That's why I love UFC so much. But I look back at it and I was like, man, I feel for Justin Gaethje, but congrats on Charles Oliveira. Charles Oliveira is a beast. Like, who could stop him? He has jiu-jitsu and he's a good striker, and he's getting more powerful and he's getting more experience. Can anybody beat him? I think he's gonna fight Islam Makhachev next. I think that's the fight to make. Will it happen? We don't know. We have to wait and see. He called out Conor McGregor too. That could happen if the UFC is willing to make a money fight, but McGregor has to get at least one W, in my opinion, at 155. But McGregor seems like he's more focused at 170 right now. But yeah, that's my reaction to Justin Gaethje versus Charles Oliveira. And yeah, man, I love this game so much. I love UFC so much. It gives me goosebumps just talking about it right now. And that's it for this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video.